Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my podcast Live Your Best Life Every Day. My name is Stefan Dajo, and today's topic is going to be about strategic thinking and strategic planning. Stay tuned and enjoy the ride. Your life is made of your past as well as it is of your present and the unfolding of your future. Now, the latter isn't set in stone, meaning you have the capacity and the ability to alter its course. The question is, how do you go about it? It is often said that no matter what we do, we cannot control what happens in our tomorrows. Well, I'll tell you this, that is only true to some extent. The fact is, unless it's about death or natural disasters, we have effective control over everything else that happens to us, whether we are conscious about it or not. That is where strategic thinking and planning comes into play. Do you ever feel as though you are just existing, not even living your own life? Do you ever feel like a fraud? Do you ever happen to feel like an imposter in your own life story? Or you are the sum of your choices and decisions. That is a control that you have. But the lack of strategic thinking and planning eventually led you to basically nothing or nowhere. Here you are. And that right there is the tragedy. What were your plans growing up? If I may ask. What did you dream of becoming? How did you see yourself at the age you are now? Did everything work out the way you wanted? Or are those plans and dreams buried under clouds of self-doubt, deception, and depression? Well, if you feel stuck, as if nothing is happening in your life the way you envisioned it, you need to listen and start doing this. First, you need to self-reflect. You have to go back to that place where things last worked out and assess the circumstances that led to things working out. Try to recreate that thought process in which you were and what were your motivations back then. The second step is checking your state of mind. Be open and honest with yourself on how you feel about being where you are currently and what led you down that alley. Most of the time, we tend to blame other people. We tend to focus on external factors. But for this exercise, I'm going to need you to focus on you and the role or part that you had to play in your own demise. That leads us to the third point. This one right here is about making the life-changing decisions to turn things around and get the wheel rolling. I say that to say this. Quite often, we do everything, but when it comes to the action taking part, we fall short of showing up. And that's something that we have to do something about. That's something that we have to be better at when it comes to showing up for our own selves, when it comes to taking actions. Faith without actions is death. A diagnostic without action leads to nothing. Everything in life needs to be backed up with actions. And there are few ways you can go about it. I would advise you to grab a piece of paper, have a pencil or your pen in hand, and here are some free questions that you can actually follow that can guide you into achieving this particular exercise. To the first question, that is the how. How do you move from where you are now to where you need to be? How do you change your circumstances? Or better yet, how do you go about changing your circumstances? That is down to strategic planning and strategic thinking. So if you can figure out the how to, then you'll be able to apply what you need to apply. And that takes us to the fourth step, lay down a plan. Just like it's done in every successful business, draw your roadmap. Write down everything that you want to achieve, and along each of those, write a big what? Interrogation mark. Then next to the what, I need you to write why. And then next to the why, I need you to write how. So you have 3 questions here. You have the what, the why, and the how. Those 3 questions need to be answered for each initiative or each steps or each sentences that you manage to put there on your plan in terms of what you want to achieve. The what is the goal, what you are aiming to achieve or accomplish. The why is the reason, the motivation, the level of importance, relevance, or urgency. You get to determine that through the why. And of course, the how. The how is, of course, the way you get it done, the very core of your strategy. So, try to come up with 3 answers for each of these questions. Then choose the immediate, most achievable task or strategy that you believe will have a substantial impact on your circumstances. Those are your short-term strategies. Then the ones that will take you longer to implement, or that can be, developed over a longer period of time, those are your long-term strategies. That's how you have to lay them out. So on one side, you'll be able to establish your short-term strategies and then you plan yourself accordingly. And then also on the other hand, you have the long-term ones. Now, add action as a 5th step. And watch how things begin to change and evolve around you. Stick to your plan, stick to your strategy, and consciously improve your quality of life. Now, let me tell you this is not an easy process. It's not something that just happens overnight. No, it takes time. But you have to be committed to wanting a better lifestyle. You have to be committed to wanting a better quality of life. You have to be committed to achieving your goals and your dreams. That's what's going to keep you and get you going on days that are not, on those days that are not really bright. Because those days, they're going to be there. You're going to have some roadblocks. Things ain't always going to work out the way you feel or think that they should be working out. That's when commitment comes in. That's when dedication comes in. And that's when it's important and relevant to remember the reason why you started. I tell this to everyone, and this applies to everything. Whereas people go to the gym, after 3 months, they complain how hard it is, and they think about giving up. I'm always telling them, remember why you started. The reason why you started didn't change. You started because of a certain discomfort, regardless of the nature of that discomfort. You started because of a certain discomfort, and that discomfort didn't change. So if you stop now, you're going right back to that place of discomfort. Life is about choices. It's about taking actions as well. Always remember when the going gets hard, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself why you got on that journey in the first place. When you travel, you move to a different country to create a different lifestyle for yourself, and the going gets hard. Remind yourself why you left home. Remind yourself why you left your home country. Remind yourself why you left your parents' house to go abroad and look for a different or better lifestyle. Remind yourself of that, because those reasons didn't change. Your perspective on why you started may have changed, but the reason why you started didn't change. Now, those are 2 different things that people often mix up. That's why it is important to have a certain level of strategic thinking and strategic planning. Get in the habit of writing things down, of having an elaborated plan. Have an elaborated plan. Things may not fall up exactly on the dots as per your plan, but it helps to keep an eye on your timeline. At least you know where you are going. Now, just because you miss a turn doesn't mean that you won't end up reaching where you are going. No. You miss a turn, you can grab the next turn. But if you don't know where you are going, how are you going to know that you missed a turn to begin with? That's why you need your roadmap. That's why you need your plan laid out. You can't achieve anything without strategic thinking. Thinking strategically means taking into account the what, the why, and the how. Giving a certain relevance to certain things. You can't do everything at the same time, no. You have so many ideas, that's great, but you can't go about executing everything at the same time. That's where strategic planning comes into place. Each thing has to be done or achieved within a certain timeline or a time frame that you allocate to it. Give yourself deadlines. It's important. Be disciplined. That's how you get to achieve anything whatsoever. I'm not going to go further into this. But one thing I want you to keep in mind is that this exercise that we've been through in this episode, you need to be able to conduct this at least every 6 months. Make it a routine, make it a lifestyle, to review your priorities, to review your plan. Because it's one thing to have a strategic plan, it's another to review that plan periodically, just to make sure that you are on track. Because life is going to happen. You're going to make plans and life is going to happen. I can tell you that. So every now and then, just make sure, go back to your plan, review it, reassess it, just to make sure that you are still on track. Because it might feel as if life's going to bounce you off your track. Life's going to bounce you off the wagon. But you have to make sure that even if you get bounced off the wagon, that you jump right back in afterwards. And you keep going. Stay focused. And that's all I have to say, guys. Keep an eye on the goal. Again, strategic thinking, strategic planning. The most important question that you have to ask yourself with anything that you want to achieve: what, why, and how. Those are your pointers. That's it for today, guys. If you feel like you know anybody out there who needs to listen to this, feel free to forward it to the person. Again, my name is Stefan Dajo. You may find my latest book available on Amazon.com. The name of the book is Live Your Best Life Every Day. And again, that is what this is about. Living our best lives. How to do so? Through strategic thinking and strategic planning. Have a lovely day.